Most mornings, people wake up and go straight for coffee, toast, or whatever is quickest. But what if the single most powerful thing you could do for your long-term health takes less than 30 seconds, costs almost nothing, and happens before any of that? Today, I want to tell you about one small habit that is quietly transforming the gut health of people who practice it consistently. And the science behind it is more compelling than most people realize. Your gut is home to tens of trillions of microorganisms. Scientists now know that the composition of this microbial community, which bacteria thrive and which ones don't, shapes not just your digestion, but your immune system, your mood, your skin, your brain function, and how quickly you age. 70% of your immune cells live in your gut. Your gut and brain are directly connected through the vagus nerve, a biological highway that runs signals in both directions. When the wrong bacteria dominate your gut, chronic low-grade inflammation spreads throughout the body, and that inflammation is the shared root of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, depression, dementia, and a long list of other conditions most of us are trying to avoid. The problem is that modern life is quietly destroying gut health. Processed foods, refined carbohydrates, chronic stress, disrupted sleep, and overuse of antibiotics all reduce the diversity and population of beneficial bacteria. And most people have no idea this is happening because the damage is silent. You don't feel your microbiome deteriorating. You just gradually feel worse, more tired, more inflamed, more foggy, and you can't quite explain why. So what can you do? The answer I want to share today is something you may already have in your kitchen. Extra virgin olive oil 1 tablespoon on an empty stomach every morning. That's it. But let me be clear, not all olive oil is the same. Regular olive oil and extra virgin olive oil are not interchangeable when it comes to health effects. Extra virgin olive oil is cold pressed from fresh olives without heat or chemical treatment, which means it retains over 170 bioactive polyphenol compounds that are stripped away during the refining process. These polyphenols are the reason extra virgin olive oil behaves differently from every other cooking fat. Among the most studied of these compounds is oleocanthal. Research published in top-tier journals found that oleocanthal inhibits inflammatory enzymes using a mechanism similar to ibuprofen, a finding that genuinely shocked the medical community. This doesn't mean olive oil replaces medication, but it does mean that daily consumption meaningfully reduces the markers of chronic inflammation over time. Oleuropein, another key polyphenol, protects blood vessel walls and prevents the oxidation of LDL cholesterol. And the full polyphenol complex acts directly on the gut microbiome in a way no other common food does quite so powerfully. Here is what the research confirms. When humans consume extra virgin olive oil regularly, beneficial bacteria, specifically Bifidobacterium and Lactobacillus, increase significantly in the gut. These are the bacteria your gut most needs. Bifidobacterium protects the gut lining and regulates immune responses. Low levels are linked to increased intestinal permeability, which allows bacterial toxins to leak into the bloodstream and drive systemic inflammation. Lactobacillus suppresses harmful bacteria, synthesizes B vitamins, and modulates immune activity. Polyphenols do not just feed these bacteria as a prebiotic. They also directly attack harmful bacteria, disrupting their cell membranes and limiting their growth. This dual action, nurturing good bacteria while weakening bad ones, makes extra virgin olive oil one of the most effective gut health tools available. Why does timing matter? Why the morning? And why the empty stomach? When olive oil is consumed with food, it mixes with other macronutrients and is diluted through digestion before its polyphenols can make full contact with the gut lining. On an empty stomach, however, the oil passes through the stomach and into the small intestine with minimal interference, allowing polyphenols to reach the gut wall at maximum concentration. Bioavailability is significantly higher. Additionally, olive oil on an empty stomach stimulates bile release from the gallbladder, which activates intestinal motility and helps move stagnant waste through the colon. People who have struggled with chronic constipation often report dramatic improvement within the first week. The health benefits extend well beyond the gut. Inflammation markers CRP and TNF-alpha have been shown to decline meaningfully in groups consuming extra virgin olive oil consistently over 6 or more weeks. Brain health improves through the gut-brain axis. A recent 2-year study found that people who consumed extra virgin olive oil maintained significantly better cognitive scores and higher gut microbiome diversity than those who did not. Blood sugar response after meals is also dampened. Clinical data shows that consuming olive oil before eating can reduce postprandial blood sugar spikes by approximately 22%, which is highly significant for anyone managing blood sugar or trying to prevent diabetes. The method is simple. In the morning, drink a glass of warm water first. 5 to 10 minutes later, take 1 tablespoon about 15 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil. If the texture is difficult at first, add a few drops of fresh lemon juice. This improves palatability and actually enhances polyphenol absorption. Wait 20 to 30 minutes before eating breakfast. For your first meal after the oil, do not reach for refined carbohydrates or sugary foods. A sharp blood sugar spike immediately after fasting reverses some of what the olive oil just accomplished. Instead, start with eggs, Greek yogurt, oatmeal with nuts, or avocado on whole grain toast. These protein and fat-rich options stabilize blood sugar and complement the gut priming effect of the olive oil. Here is your 7-day starter plan. On days 1 and 2, begin with half a tablespoon and wait 30 minutes before breakfast. Let your digestive system adjust. On days 3 and 4, increase to 3/4 of a tablespoon and add a few drops of lemon. By day 5, you should be comfortable taking the full tablespoon. On days 5 through 7, practice the full routine warm water. Then 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil with lemon. Then a protein-focused breakfast 30 minutes later. By the end of the week, most people report noticeably smoother digestion and more consistent morning energy. A few important cautions. If you have gallstones, olive oil can stimulate gallbladder contractions and may trigger pain. Speak with your doctor first. If you experience significant nausea on an empty stomach, take the oil with your meal instead of before it. Stick to 1 tablespoon per day. The caloric content is real, at approximately 120 calories per tablespoon, and more is not better. If you are scheduled for surgery, avoid excessive intake in the 2 weeks prior, as olive oil can mildly affect blood clotting. 1 tablespoon every morning before breakfast. The gut that feels sluggish, inflamed, and unbalanced right now has the capacity to be something completely different. And the shift begins with something this simple. If this video helped you, like and subscribe. Share it with someone whose gut health you care about. More is coming.